Very good. Okay, welcome to the call, everybody. We are into the fall of 2014 here, which tend to be phenomenal months with network marketing in general, particularly with Isogenics. All the kids are back in school, and all the parents are starting back into somewhat of a mid-year resolution and just getting ready for the holidays and that kind of thing. And we find that these months, September and October and November in particular, are so fun and exciting and busy with this company, and I can't wait to tell you about it. So, who am I? My name's Jessica Johnston, and I appreciate you coming tonight. It humbles me every time we get such amazing turnout for these calls. And I'm so humbled that people will tune in to listen to what we have going on here. My life has been completely changed in the last 2 years with this company called Isogenics. And I can't wait to share that story with you and really look forward to so many of you sharing your stories with us in the future, the very near future for many of you, or even just a year from now to see how much your life can change in the next year. So what we're here to do tonight is to talk about our compensation plan, the simplest way we can talk about it because it is so simple. And that's the one thing we just want to really get through to everybody. But before we do that, I want to get into just some of the very quick detail for those of you who are brand new looking at this for the very first time. We've got two audiences here. We have an audience of people who have no idea what we're doing here from a monetary perspective in Isogenics, and they're a little bit curious about getting their product for free. It sounds nice to refer a few people because we find that everyone knows a few people who need Isogenics, and we really find once you educate yourself on what this product is and what this company is about, who is running and owning this company, the type of people you'd be associated with. We find a lot of people know a lot of people that need or want this. And so we shift gears a little. I am personally here for the product. It has changed my life. And I, 2 years later, am sharing this with everyone I can. And I'll walk you through that a little bit. But so part of this call in the first half is really just to address the new people and say, okay, here's the basics of what you can do to get Isogenics for free. What can you do to not have to pay for it? It's a beautiful thing. So many people come in and say Isogenics is expensive. Well, you know what? It's food. We eat food every day, week in, week out, month in, month out. All we're doing is redirecting our spending from our grocery bill from whatever your grocery chain is, Trader Joe's or whether it be Harris Teeter or Publix. All we're doing is redirecting your spending with some of your food intake to an Isogenics grocery store, if you will. And so the other thing about that is we're spending the money anyway, but the other thing about it is we've got this beautiful compensation plan in place. It's a referral system where if you tell a few people that get interested or excited about nutritional cleansing or what this product line can do for them nutritionally, the company pays you back a referral for opening an account for those people. And so we love to tell you, we don't sell Isogenics. This group of people, that the people who have invited you to this call, those of you that are new on board, you're just getting started, we want you to know you don't have to sell this. Isogenics Corporation sells Isogenics. They sell the product. We are the people who open accounts for people. Okay? We tell them we have something. We tell them we know a company that can ship it, and we help them get their product. That's what we do here. Okay? So we're not selling Isogenics, we're sharing it. And if you're interested in sharing it because you've had a great experience, or you're interested in sharing this because you've made a lot of money and you want more people to make money because seems like everyone needs to make more money, then that's what we're doing here. And so I wanted to walk you through my story a little bit. The second half of the comp call is going to be really specific to how we particularly build with the Cepeda team. I don't speak for everyone on the global exec team here because we all build a little bit differently, but I'm going to share with you how I built and then give you a modification of what has worked for other people as well that's been really successful. So the second half of the call, if you're going to stay with us on the call after you hear about getting your products for free, if you want to stay with us, then you're going to learn about why people are making millions of dollars and how exactly we're doing that. So let's get started. You've been staring at my picture long enough, but I want you to know this company is 12 going on 13 years. The products are heavily validated, and my physical transformation, my medical transformation is very common. And so I am now, what I'm most proud of is not the 11 pounds that I flushed in the first 20 days of this program, doing it all wrong. However, I felt like I didn't read any directions. But what I want you to know is going forward, the most important thing to me is the fact that I am off medication after 14 years of that and suffering for an illness that I've had to deal with chronically for 14 years. And so I have been able to get off that medication because of this product line. And when I discovered I had a way to share this with everyone else who was suffering from similar diseases and illnesses that I had, I could go share this with them. And what I did was brand myself as someone who could change the face of autoimmune disease. I didn't brand myself as somebody who wanted to sell Isogenics. I don't use the Isogenics logo. What I use is a life transformation logo, that my life has been changed and I want to help other people. And so this is a company about helping other people. And so what happened when I started branding about let me help survivors, if you're suffering, call me, we can fix this, a business exploded. Whether I liked it or not, I had a lot of people who needed this. And prior to that, in owning two small, not so small, but they're actually rather large when we were in our busiest times, but my family owns two gyms, two upscale fitness centers. And whether we liked it or not, after 12 years of never endorsing another product, because our reputation is on the line, when you endorse a product, it better work, it better be easy to use, it better be clean, it better be organic. We couldn't find anything in our gyms to put our name behind until this product line, until this company. And we researched it long enough, we trialed it long enough, and it exploded a business for us. And then ultimately, I found that if I could create a story and what happened to me product-wise, what drives me to share this with people, what drives me deep down is to help people. And so that has turned into a really wonderful, wonderful business opportunity. And so if you're on this call, you have an interest in either getting this stuff for free and sharing it with some people, or you have an interest maybe in making a lot of money, significant 6 and 7 figure money. I didn't, but I'll tell you my story, and boy, it gets exciting. So there are a lot of people on this call tonight. Some of you were invited by people on this call tonight who are outpacing my monetary income with Isogenics. They're outpacing where I am. But it took me about 7 months to create a 6-figure earning. We've got people doing that in 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 months now. They're doing it much faster than I did. And ultimately, what does that mean? Let me flip to the next slide. In coming from investment banking, I was interested in how this company looked. I was interested in why people were making millions of dollars. So I looked and I noticed, I could tell the growth rate was a good, strong 30% year after year after year. Even through a recession, it had very strong growth. Other companies were folding all over the place, and Isogenics was strong. They were increasing. With an investment banking mind, I wanted to know how far into this business were they with a momentous growth? Had they hit that one phase of momentum? We'll talk about that a little bit in the end. But now here I am. I'm 2 years in. So I speak to you tonight with this compensation plan from somebody who does not have any experience in this industry. I have never done anything like this before, and came into Isogenics just like you guys are, and I just learned it as I went. I shared it and I learned, and I shared it and I learned, and I listened to the people before me who were very successful, people that did have a lot of experience, or people that did not have a lot of experience but were having a lot of immediate success. And so I like to do these calls to say, just do what we tell you to do. You can go read about the comp plan. You can go watch the video from Kathy Coover. It's only 15 minutes long. She's one of our owners. You can go watch that video, and it'll break it down very simply for you. But I didn't have time as a busy mother. I didn't have time to learn this comp plan. And I still really don't have time to learn the comp plan. I just keep doing what Herb and Patty, who personally sponsored me, keep telling me to do. Why am I listening to them? Because they've made $8 million in less than 7 years. They are 27 years experienced, and they are getting this right more than anyone else in the world right now. And they are going to be known as the best network marketers of all time. Now, there's some big names out there right now. People have had a lot of success in network marketing. We happen to report into Herb and Patty Cepeda ultimately, who will be the people who changed the face of this industry and who changed so many lives, millions of lives. And so that's where I'm learning from. That's where we teach it from. Susan Miller's another leader on this team. We build a teeny bit differently, but I'll tell you that in just a little bit. So now I am labeled a future Isogenics millionaire. It's really even hard to imagine. What does that mean? I will cumulatively have made $1 million with this company inside of a 2.5 year period. I really was shooting for 5 years. When we started this thing out, I felt like I had enough people to help that I could make $1 million. I've realized that was really cut in half. This is an easy company to share with people. It's an easy compensation plan to share. It's an easy product line to share. And so inside of 2.5 years, I will have created $1 million in income with this company. So let's talk about it. The products have been validated for 12 years. We already talked about it. You can talk to so many people. There's thousands and thousands of testimonials with this product, but we're not here to talk about the product tonight. We're going to do that next Monday. If you want to join us, get the number. It's actually the same phone number for the audio. If you want to call in next Monday, we'll talk more in depth about the product, and then next Tuesday we talk more in depth about the business opportunity. But so tonight we're specifically going through our comp plan. So if you have multi-level marketing experience, this is going to confuse you because it's going to be so simple. You are going to look for it to be harder than it is. Here are the 4 ways we make money in Isogenics. We get product introductory bonuses. That is anytime we introduce someone to the product, PIB. Okay, we introduce them, we open an account, the company pays us. We get rank advancements. So they have 5 titles in Isogenics, not 20 titles, not 15 titles. They have 5 titles in Isogenics. And we try to put you straight on the path for those titles to make the most money. There is cycling. Oops, I have these numbers out of order. This is too funny. I'll change the slide. We have cycling is actually the 3rd way to get paid in Isogenics. Cycling is the long-term residual income, and I'll explain what that means. It's how you build 2 teams in Isogenics. We are a binary comp plan. We are not a multi-level marketing company. We're a binary comp plan. It's a network marketing company where you build 2 teams, not 3 or 5 or 12 teams. Some of you on the phone tonight are used to a 5-step or a 12 enrollment program. You have to enroll 12 people before this company starts to pay you. We don't do that here at Isogenics, so we're happy to show you. You just have to start with 2. And then the executive pools and the matches that we have. I'll talk about that. So I like to break down our product introductory bonuses into 3 packs. There are other packs with Isogenics, yes. Here's what I personally recommend, and this is what most of my team works with. We have a business builder pack, a president's pack, and a 30-day system. I spend most of my time, I would say more than 80% of my time is in the president's pack field. That to me is the most comprehensive pack. It is the best bang for the buck. They discount everything within that box the most significantly. They put in a free blender. They don't charge you to open your account. It's a free enrollment. They don't charge you extra money for that. And so where we're going with this is people have a couple of options. A business builder pack, which is basically one of everything. When you introduce someone to a business builder pack, it costs them about $1,000. I think it's $10.99 before tax and shipping. But this company will pay you $150 if someone you enroll purchases a business builder pack. All of my gyms start on this business builder pack. Most of the fitness centers or fitness professionals, sometimes husband and wives, will start on this pack. The company will pay you $150. If you start on a president's pack, this company pays you $80 if you start someone on a president's pack. And if you start someone on a 30-day system, the company pays you $25. All 3 incredibly generous, lucrative bonuses that you're paid out immediately on. If you do 2 of those in 1 week, 2 business builder packs, 2 president's packs, 2 30 days, or any combination of those in 1 week, this company will double each pack commission. So I say the word commission because I've been with the company for 2 years. This is just a referral incentive. It's a rebate, if you will. So if you enroll on a president's pack and enroll your spouse on a president's pack, you're going to make $80 back in a referral commission or incentive or rebate on your spouse's pack. Okay, you know where I'm going with this. So my personal goal in the beginning was to take the President's Pack because that's what my husband and I each started on. And I said, wow, if I could get 2 President's Packs a week in the hands of people, that's $320 a week just in starting 2 people to do this. That's over $1,200 a month to just introduce 2 people a week, let alone all the other money that's going to get ready to come in. So here's how we get our products paid for. Let me give you a generic example, and then I want to go ahead and show you, there we go. And then I want to go ahead and show you my real life example. So here I am building with the President's Pack. You come into the system, you introduce Renee and Brian to the President's Pack. They both decide to enroll. You initiate your right team, you initiate your left team, because that's the only places you have to initiate. When you do that, the company pays you a $50 bonus. You go from an associate in this company, like you were enrolled, to a consultant. They call you a consultant the first time you initiate both of your teams. If you've done that and you've put Brian and Renee in the system in the same week, this company has paid you $320 and a product introductory bonus. Now, if Renee, let's just say even in that same week, if Renee comes in and says, I'm going to enroll Heather and Adrian and I'm going to put them on a President's Pack, okay, you are the green bubble at the top. When Renee, someone you sponsored, introduces 2 people, this company will pay you $100. So I'm going to get into that in a minute for rank advances, but basically this is what will happen. If you come into this business as an associate, you introduce 2 people and enroll them, you become a consultant. If those 2 people introduce their 2 people and initiate the growth in their left team and their right team, and they found 2 people, that means they've gone consultant. So here you are, you actually have become a manager. But in this scenario, just looking at it like it is, you have earned, fill it all in here, let me go back one, $50 for going consultant. You've earned $100 off 2 people you enrolled that went consultant for $200, and you've earned $320 in PIBs. In this scenario, it doesn't even show you about the residual that's already starting to build, so I'll show you that in a minute. But let me just walk you through a real life example. I came home. My husband is super supportive. I know I'm so cheesy and kind of dorky, but these are pictures of people. It makes it a little more real. That's my husband. He wanted to jump all in the first day with me. So we enrolled him on a President's Pack. I called my workout partner. That's Denise Kiker. She's a wonderful woman. We've been working out together for 3 years. Our bodies were not changing. I told her I found a secret weapon. I found a secret weapon to the nutrition side of this. And Denise, without hesitation, gave me her credit card over the phone and said, order me whatever you did. And here you go. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to do it. We enrolled my husband. We enrolled my workout partner, Denise. I didn't even know, but I made $320 that day. Now, they also paid me the $50 rank advance, and they also paid me the residual because of the volume that I initiated on both sides of $54. So I got a residual cycle of pay. 8 days goes by, I'm drinking my shakes, I'm getting excited about starting a cleanse, hadn't done a cleanse yet, and I introduced my brother. This is my brother Adam, introduced him to the program for him personally, not for our gyms. I really wasn't interested in the business really at that point. Introduced Adam just as, you know, a fitness professional. Let's see what he thinks about this, and he's my brother, and, you know, he's ready for this. He's up early in the morning. He's tired at night. Let's get him some more energy. Let's see what happens with him. Well, he uses the product for 8 days. And his profession over 15 years has tried everything, could not believe the response, could not believe the simplicity, could not believe the integrity. And so he walks back into our gyms that we own, private fitness studios, and he enrolls Siobhan, his trainer, and Kimber, his client. We went on to enroll 17 people in the next few weeks because they could not believe the difference in how him and I looked. For him, it was 8 days. For me, it was about 20 days at that point. So on day 16, from a compensation referral perspective, this is how we get your products paid for. This is how I did it, and I didn't even know I was doing it, and I wasn't even interested at the time. But it was something that happened to share organically. And I said, well, rather than you call the company and purchase Isogenics, I'd rather figure out how to get it for you because I know there's some sort of a commission associated with this. And so here I am on day 16. My President's Pack cost me $559. So in 16 days, I broke even on this investment. Not only did I break even on the investment monetarily, but I got to eat my overhead. So shift your thinking to business. This was your overhead expense in starting a business, really. You start making money right here. Okay? When that happened and this company told me I had already made almost $600, I didn't even know how I made it. I called my enroller, my sponsor, Herb Cepeda, and he came over and he explained to me exactly what I just explained to you. And I said, if that's all it takes to make $600, I can do that 100 more times because I know a lot of people that need to feel as good as I do. And there we go. We're off and doing a business. So let me talk to you now about rank advancements. You start as an associate. When you sponsor 2 people, one left, one right, you go consultant. The company pays you $50. When you sponsor 2 people who in turn go consultant, so they themselves go consultant, 2 people that find 2 people and initiate their teams, the company pays you $100 each time somebody that you personally sponsored introduces 2 people. You will be a director with this company and make $600 because at this point you have enrolled 6 people that have all found 2 people, so they've gone consultant. Now, here's the big one. It's called executive. This is what we like to have our people push for. If you want to maximize this compensation plan and you want to take every dollar, you want to go to executive. And I'll tell you, most people find it's not as hard as they thought. You want to find 10 people that you personally sponsor that find 2 people. Okay? In that scenario, you've made $1,000. But this company, I promise there's always something waiting around the corner. If you work quickly at achieving those titles, this company pays you more money just because you worked a little more quickly than somebody else. So if in your first 30 days, if you find 2 people who go consultant, they give you an extra $250 on top of the $200 you already made, and they call you a crystal manager. If within 90 days of your enrollment, you find 6 people who found 2 people each, they call you a crystal director. They pay you an extra $750 on top of the $600 you've already made. This company will pay you $100 for every person you enroll, up to 20 people, that find 2 people and go consultant. Now, I've just recently learned that if you find all 20 consultants, if you are paid out $100 on 20 people, I believe it's within a 6-month window of your enrollment, the company actually pays you another $1,000 bonus. We will get clarification on that, but I believe Adrienne Donovan just did that. She had created 20 consultants within a 6-month time frame, and the company gave her an extra $1,000 bonus. So I'll get clarification for those of you who are wondering about that. This is the first you're hearing of it. Crystal Executive Bonus. If within 6 months of your enrollment date, you have gone executive, that means you have found 10 people who found 2 people. You've gone executive. You've done it within 6 months. The company pays you an extra $1,000 on top of the $1,000 that they've already paid you, and they call you a crystal executive. Now, the only thing, there's one little thing about the executive position. As you are growing and developing, as a manager and a director, it doesn't matter which organization you are creating those consultants in, your left organization, your right organization. Where it does matter is with executive. You want to have five consultants on one team and 5 consultants on the other team. So 5 on the left, 5 on the right, 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Your person who introduces you to Isagenix will tell you what order to work in as we do that. I'll talk about that in a second. So let's talk about the binary comp plan. Because it's a binary comp plan, people only have 2 options to where to place people. They can only go left or right. And so someone who sponsored you, or maybe even other people that are in and out of that organization, they only have one place to enroll, a left or a right side. And so here we are. You're at the top. You've got people in your uplines, your downlines, all enrolling people. This company, as a binary, allows us to work together on one side of our organization. So we have a team building concept. You're actually building commissions with a team of people down either your left leg or your right leg. And if you go into your back office, or when you start this program, if you're new, you will see where your person places you. You'll know whether or not your right team is your team leg or your left team. And they'll also tell you, you will start to see typically an area, names of people who will come into your organization that you might not have put there. And that's because we build commissions together as a team. All right. When you do that, it's going to help tremendously with the cycling factor, with the residual that we're trying to build here. So before I get to the residual on the cycling, I want to talk about the Cepeda strategy because we do get so many questions on this. This is Herb and Patty Cepeda. As I mentioned earlier, they're the #1 income earners in the world in isogenics, $8 million in less than 8 years. 7 years, maybe, just about. And I followed this strategy. It worked for me, and I'll explain a modification of it in just a minute. The Cepeda strategy, because they understand this comp plan so well, and because they've been part of helping Jim and Kathy Coover really fine-tune it maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, they've really helped create this. And they know how to maximize it with their 27 years of experience. And so what they do is they have us, like anyone else in the company, very first thing we want to do is go consultant. We want to put one on our left and one on our right. In these scenarios, I'm always talking about someone who comes in, one left, one right, as an associate in the company and on auto ship. We have told the system that this person as an associate plans to share it, so they're probably going to make some money and get some referrals, but we've also told them, and they plan to continue to use the product themselves. And in doing that, the money over time you will see builds up. You'd rather have people come in as an associate and you want to put them on auto ship. I don't like the word auto ship. I don't use it as the word auto ship. When I am talking about it, I call it a replenishment. We're going to send you a supply of replenishment products in 30 days. Let's see how you do your first 3 or 4 weeks. Usually you just need a couple canisters of shakes. You just really need a minimum order. We go into a maintenance mode after we've accomplished your goals, and then you'll get some replenishment. Okay? If you want to cancel it between now and then, that's fine. Yes, the company gives back money the first 30 days, no question asked. If somebody didn't like the product, they can return it. They'll get their money back. I have personally maybe seen that happen one time out of maybe 200 people that I've personally sponsored. Okay? It's not typical that people would do that. They, the 99% of the people love the product. They love it, and they want to continue. Our retention rates are through the roof at Isogenics, through the roof high. Okay, so here we go, Cepeda strategy. What they're going to tell you after you go consultant, they are going to have you enroll 10 people down one leg. Why? We focus one position at a time. And the next slide, I'll tell you some of the benefits of doing it this way. So they're going to say one left, one right, and then put 10 down the team leg. Our hopes with 10 down the team leg is that 5 of those people will become consultant. The chance of all 10 of them going consultant is rare. So a lot of times they do go consultant, but it might not be in the immediate. It might take them a couple months. It might take them a year to go consultant. But to get 5 consultants developed fairly quickly, if you're going to go after the rank advancement bonuses and such, and you want to grow your team quickly and you want to get to executive very quickly, we want to throw 10 down that team leg. We want to hope that 5 of those people down that one side go consultant. Then, in this order, we sift to the other leg. So you've been on your team leg, contributing to that leg. Now we're going to shift you over to what we call, on the Cepeda team, they don't call it this at corporate, we call it the focus leg. This is a leg that we're going to be building by ourselves. This is a leg that we are going to be completely focused on after we get that team up and running and off into some momentum. Why do we build this way? Why does it work? Let me talk about that. This is our friend Deanna Falchuk. Hi, Deanna. I know you're on. So I love this silly picture of you. I use it whenever I can. This woman made $100,000 in this company in the first 6 months. And she did it because she had a beautiful vision of helping orphan children and foster families and help getting better nutrition in these little bodies and helping these men and women raise money to build more orphanages and adopt more children. She's got a beautiful story. I can't wait for you guys to meet her sometime. But I just wanted to pause and acknowledge her for a minute because she's an amazing woman and she's on this team. So why do we use the Cepeda strategy? Here, you focus one side at a time because it builds momentum. Okay? You're focused on one side. The other thing you're doing when you're going out in your warm market and you're bringing in family members or you're bringing in friends, maybe college friends or high school friends or neighbors, we like for you When you're building one team, you end up putting those people on a team together. Why does that matter? Because in the long run, all of those people are going to be helping each other create huge money, a really big business, really big money opportunity. And so it's really fun. I went out first and focused on my family first. So my family's all on one team together because I put them all on my team leg. And then later, as that team leg exploded and I got my 5 consultants down that leg, I shifted over and went to my focus leg. And I started to build my 5 consultants on the other side. Well, those were college friends. They were local neighbors, women who knew each other and at school that maybe haven't talked in a while. We're all reconnected again, building a team in Isogenics together because everybody wins. We all help each other. Here's why we use the Cepeda strategy. This is a big one. This is a big one. And this is why this team, the Cepeda team, this global exec team, this is why our people are at the top of the world in the leadership pool bonuses. So when you reach executive, you participate in leadership pool bonuses. They have these pools. And if you're an executive, as you grow your organization, as you grow your residual and your cycling, which I'll talk about in a second, the company pays you out of the executive pools. We have people maxing out the pools. Why? They're at the top of they don't even know how they're doing it. They're doing it because they're following the strategy because they don't really know what's coming. They just trust the process. They trust the strategy, and they're going in and they're following it, and now they're reaping the benefit. Now they're seeing it clearly, and they're helping their people. We're helping you. So if you're new tonight, we help you do this. This is maxing out the comp plan. You're taking all the money you can get from them. So what it's doing is we are keeping your cycles low for a reason. When you start with Isogenics, if you want to build in the Cepeda strategy, most of your income initially is going to come from product introductory bonuses and building your team and your rank advancements. There's a lot of money there, several $1,000s. Then we're going to jump over and focus on the cycling. If we have kept our cycle count low, the residual income that we're making, if we've kept it low for the first several months before we get to executive, once you hit executive and we start really building those cycles up, you are going to earn more shares in the leadership pool than others because the shares that you earn in the leadership pools are based on your cycle growth each week for that period of time. So as long as you are growing your cycles above a benchmark number that they give you, you're getting shares in the pool. Our people are building this way. They're earning their money in PIBs and rank advancements initially with the knowledge that the long-term income is going to come in as the residual and the cycling. So they're making a lot of money in PIBs, then they're shifting over, then they're starting to build the residual. Well, what happens is they get all excited because they start cycling because they've got now a left team and a right team that are contributing to this bank that's paying them because these two teams together, I'll talk about cycling on the next slide. So all of a sudden they're doing that, but at the same time, they don't even really know it, but they're building huge shares in the executive pools. These bonus pools are paid out once a month. Some of us made, I don't know, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Urban Patty made $10,000 in the bonus pool for August, which was the slowest month of the year for people. They made $10,000 just as an extra bonus because they were increasing their cycles. Duplication. I can't wait for some of the new people here to really start seeing what duplication means. If you do this strategy, I promise you it will duplicate. And all that means is that everyone is more successful. Everybody. Your new enrollment, if you're new tonight listening, we build this to have you be the most successful you can be. This is a recommendation that we make to say, here's how you take all the money you can out of this company. And Jim and Kathy are more than happy to have us take it. Here's how you take all the money out. You don't have to follow it. Of course not. It's your own company. It's your own business. Do it how you want. Do whatever makes sense for you. This is what we recommend. So you go in. What's going to happen is when you get people real excited who want to make the big money, they want to build like you did. And they're going to do exactly what you did. Guess what? They're more successful. That makes you more successful. That makes the next person more successful, all the way up to the Cepedas, up to the Cougars. Everyone's more successful if you're successful. We always have the new enrollment in mind. This is about their best interest. It's never about ours. We want people to be successful in this company, and we'll do anything to support you to make sure you're successful. You start duplicating. That is when you build a really strong, deep foundation. You've got people focusing one team at a time in each direction to get those teams to the left in momentum or to the right into a momentum, and they go off running by themselves. And all of a sudden, the 10 you put in, let's say 5 of them go put 10 in, and 5 of them go put 10 in, and 5 of them go, all of a sudden you go for, and this is happening right now on a team. Right now. This is happening. People are putting 10 down the team leg, 10 down the team leg, and then 5 more putting 10 on the team leg. And it's starting to pick up on its own. So now they're shifting over to build their focus leg to go executive, and they're starting to cycle. And they're going to get in these executive pools as soon as they hit executive. And there's also a director pool now, guys. So back up. It's not just an executive pool. There's also a director pool. So at least get yourself to director. If you get yourself to manager, you're in a holiday pool. At the end of the year, they pay you out the second week of December. That's a good pool to be in, just to hit manager. And they accumulate all your enrollments and your shares in that pool, and they pay you out in December. But why not take it another level, go director, and be part of the director pool? We had somebody, Elaine Moody, this month max out the director pool. We had somebody, Elizabeth Laconi, max out the 1-star pool. Tata and Delilah, the 2 to 3-star pool. They were second place in the world. This is world positions. I was somewhere in the 4 to 6-star pool. I was 5th place, I think, in the world. Then Herb and Patty Cepeda in the 7-star pool. Those are all the pools I just named. Herb and Patty were number 1 in the last one. We had this team. Everyone who I just mentioned is on this call right now. And they would raise their hand and say, absolutely, it works. Just do it. So what's the alternative to building the Cepeda strategy? The alternative is enroll 1 on the left, 1 on the right, 1 on the left, 1 on the right, 1 on the left, 1 on the right. Just in hearing it, you can tell it's going to take a lot longer to build. The momentum isn't there. The energy's not there. The excitement isn't there. You may not be pairing people together that really could build a beautiful business together. Okay? So think about that in your placement. And all we ask, these are little details. All we ask is you just listen to your enrolling sponsor. If you want to know, just listen to what they tell you. And they will teach you the way that they've been taught. Okay? When should you consider it? There are a lot of people on this phone that absolutely can go 1 left, 1 right, 1 left, 1 right. Go for it. Go for it. You're still going to build a business. You might even build a multi-million-dollar business doing it that way. That's fine. Some people have, and it's worked. In fact, there's a lot of people who have in this company. Okay? But the Cepedas, we ask them to put a number on it. Give us a number to coach people. Their feeling is that if you can enroll 10 people your first 60 days, you're just really getting a real hold of the product at this point. You're just getting a real hold of what this company is all about. In your first 60 days, if you've enrolled 10 people, you want to use the Cepeda strategy. So if you can go 1 left, 1 right, and then enroll 9 more down the team leg in your first 60 days, that's the strategy you want to use. No question, hands down. Every once in a while, we see people who put their first 5 people down the team leg, and all 5 people go consultant. In that case, absolutely, you've got your 5 consultants down one side. Go ahead and jump to the other side and create 5 more consultants. If you get that lucky that all 5 of those first people go consultant, absolutely go for it. And there's no one policing you, by the way. It doesn't matter what you do. Okay? So we're going to kind of draw that parameter around this, guys. Okay, so let's talk about this cycling. I think some of you have already gotten the hang of this just based on the way I've been speaking about it tonight. But here's what we do with Isogenics. Every product purchase has a BV or business volume associated with it. So they assign a points to everything you purchase. It adds up in the system a bank on both sides based on purchases on both sides, whether you brought that person in or someone else brought that person in, somebody in your upline, somebody in your downline, whoever has brought those in, it doesn't matter. If they're in your left downline or your right downline on your team, you are banked volume from anything and everything they do. It almost seems impossible. Sometimes I wonder how this company pays me like they do. How are they in business paying me all this money? Sometimes I wonder that because it's so generous and lucrative. So here we go. Anytime the system sees 600 BV, business volume, purchased, That's the equivalent of 2 President's Packs. Anytime one of your teams enrolls 2 President's Packs, you've got at least 600 BV on the left or the right, doesn't matter what side, that's sitting there waiting for you in a bank. Anytime the other team, the opposite side, creates 300 BV, business volume points, which is the equivalent of 1 President's Pack or 2 30-day systems, it will pay you a cycle of pay. So it will deduct 600 that you've built up in one team and 300 that you've built up in the other. It will deduct that out of your bank, but it pays you in cash for that volume going through your business center. That cycle of pay is what we call $54. I kind of say it's almost like a stock price. So we have a $54 cycle in pay, which is your residual based on the volume that you're building and your team is building. Okay, so a lot of us, I want to look at this is the slide I wanted to get to. This I just throw in. We get paid every Monday in Isogenics. There's no waiting. We get paid every single Monday. You get money loaded on this Visa card. You can transfer it into your bank account that same day if you want, or just like me, use that card as a debit card. All right, so here's what the cycling really looks like, guys. Here's what it turns into. 10 cycles a week, 10 times a week. If you've got that much volume, you've built a team, particularly if you're an executive, we see everybody start to hit that 10 cycle a week mark. You're making $30,000 a year with Isogenics. And most people, the majority of people, are building this outside of their full-time job. They're stay-at-home moms that are doing a couple things at home. Maybe they're people who are working full-time. I owned 3 companies when I started Isogenics. We owned 3 businesses. I had 3 kids at home. They were 2, 4, and 6. Then I had 3 businesses we were running. I have a home to maintain, a husband, right? And I just started building this in the pockets of my life. And so let's go down, and here's where I was. By my 7th month, without any experience, not really even knowing what the heck I was doing, with the very little time I had to build, I was doing that 37 to 40 cycles a week. That's a 6-figure year income. So if you hit 40 cycles in a week, which a lot of us now are doing within the first 4, 5, 6 months, it's a 6-figure income. And you're doing it part-time in the little pockets of your life, maybe a couple hours on a Saturday. Whatever you can build in, that's the beauty of this job. It's so flexible, it's so forgiving. You can do it whenever you have time to do it. You can take a week off and then go back the next week and do a few more hours, whatever you want to do. So, I'm happy to tell you, my business started with a cycle or 2 a month, maybe 5 in a month, maybe 20 in a month, and started growing, and then maybe 90 in a month, and it just kind of kept growing. So my weekly cycles now, I average, I guess it's maybe around 175 cycles a week. So in less than 2 years in this company, I went from my first week where I made 1 cycle to building. Then I was getting to maybe 50 cycles a week. I was hitting a 6-figure residual, and then we built into 100 cycles a week. It's 5,000 a week. That was turning into 20,000 a month. And so the last 2 weeks, I cycled almost 200 times each week, 200 times in 1 week. So my weekly deposit on that card that I just showed you, one was, $13,000. The other one was $12,000. So just in the last 2 weeks, I've made $20,000, more than $20,000, almost $25,000. In the month of August alone, it was a 5-week month. We got paid for 5 weeks. I made $51,000 in residual income. I enrolled 1 person in August. 1 person I personally put in the system. All of the other money was right here. It was this amazing global executive team. It was this amazing team loading volume and getting excited. They're getting excited. They're reaching higher levels. They're reaching 20 cycles. They're reaching 30 cycles. They're going executive. They're going manager. And all of that volume trickles up. And my husband and I's business center, it created 186 cycles, I think, last week or something. Okay? Let's talk about the timing. This is my favorite part. I don't know why I get so excited about this, guys. I've owned small businesses, so I know what happens when the company hits momentum. We doubled our income in this private personal training facility. We doubled our income in a 2-month period because we hit momentum. Everybody on the planet, they figured out who we are, where we were located. They knew enough people working out. Bodies were looking good. They knew who we were. They started coming to us for personal training. We went from $35,000 a month in revenue to $70,000 in 2 months. It doubled. That's what we have going on in Isagenix. Your timing is beautiful. So when I purchased my pack in Isagenix that day, I bought that President's Pack. I had no idea that I purchased a piece of real estate in this company, because this company is going to grow with or without you. It's going, and it's a very fast train, and you either jump on or you don't, but it's going to grow. So you come in and you have your position, and it's going to grow, and there's going to be a team that grows for you, or you don't do it. Make the choice. Go for it. So here's what's happening. We just hit a number called critical mass. This company is getting ready to experience incredible vertical growth on the growth chart. And this was a prediction from 2 years ago, and it has happened exactly. Okay, so I have all the confidence in the world to tell you in 2015, we will be a $1 billion a year company. But what I want to say, and for any of the business people out there, that's unbelievable. $1 billion a year company. In 14 years, we're going to become a $1 billion a year company. Okay, that's even if our growth slows a little bit. Our growth is so profound right now. Even if it slows, we're going to be a $1 billion a year company. Okay, 80% of the people who come into Isagenix to share this, 80% will come in this phase called momentum. So I don't know, call it 2, 3, 4 years. Usually momentum lasts about 48 months. Sometimes it could be 6 years, sometimes maybe a little less. But this explosive, crazy growth will bring 80% of the people to Isagenix. So if you are already purchased, if you are already in the system, if you are already building a team, or you're starting tonight, your timing is incredible. But I will tell you also that 2 years from now, if you decide to sit out for 2 years and come in 2 years, in 2 years, you can still make millions of dollars with this company. So just think of where you are today and know that you're 2 years ahead of those people. There's going to be millionaires popping in 2 and 3 and 4 years. This company has created 125 millionaires. I think it's 127 now. 127 millionaires in the first 13 years. They are expecting to triple that in the next 36 months. This company will create no less than 300 new millionaires in the next 36 months. Okay, and it's because of momentum. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on trends tonight. This is just something that we like to talk about. Network marketing, guys, if you are not in a position where you don't think this is the most brilliant thing on the planet, go do some more research. This is what people are doing now. People have to start changing the way they think about making money. We're so used to our traditional business, our traditional jobs, and that's okay. There's a lot of teachers and police officers and corporate America employees. I was one of them, small business owners. That's okay. We like medical professionals. We like what we do. We chose the profession for a reason. There's also a lot of really unhappy people. But people are starting to discover you don't have to make your family income in traditional business anymore. You can do it in a company like this with network marketing. Someone just asked Donald Trump recently, and some of you saw this. If you could do anything different in your career, we know the guy's billions and billions. What would you have done different? And he said, I would have found myself a good network marketing firm, and I would have jumped all in, because residual income is where it is now. We've lost our money in our investments. We've all lost money in the recession. If we had anything saved or invested, thank goodness it's coming back now. But we learned in that recession that our money's not safe. It's not safe there. We also learned our jobs weren't safe. There's a financial crisis right now. Unemployment's at an all-time high. We have an option here, and it's so much more fun than what some of you are doing during the day. We have a blast in this company every day. It's so rewarding. So here's what's going on that's making this the perfect opportunity. If you haven't heard something that excites you yet tonight, well then let's talk about this. Okay? We are in a phase called, this is a market. This is what's going on. It's a trend. It's called the information age. It has a name. Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Yahoo, everybody has email now. Everybody has a smartphone now. What we can get done, I ran a $500,000 business this year. So I will close out this year. My first year, I made $86,000 with this company. This is my second year. I will close out at no less than, we just projected it out for the last quarter. I'll close out at no less than $477,000 in my second year. Why? I ran this whole business on a smartphone. This whole business through texting, Facebooking. I haven't even touched some of the other social media. I haven't even touched it. I don't know how to use LinkedIn. I know I need a lesson. Don't start jumping on me and texting me. You're going to call me and give me a lesson. I know. I'll figure it out. I don't have time right now. I'm raising 3 kids. Okay? So I'll figure that out next. But I ran a whole business on one piece of paper, which has a list of names on it of people that I keep up with and I follow up with every once in a while. Not obnoxiously, just when I'm thinking about them. Okay, and a phone. Okay, so here we've got social media, information age. We can talk across the world. We can send a message out and get it to 4,000 people in the next 10 seconds. 4,000. You can text somebody and have a response within 30 seconds. That has changed the face of network marketing, and that's part of why it's so brilliant now. It's so easy to do, especially for our young people, my goodness. But even my 65-year-old father is great at Facebook, and he's great at texting. Even my baby boomer father. So why is this the perfect opportunity? It's the 3 trends that are coming together. We call it the perfect storm. There's a book out there on it by Paul Zane Pilzer. He's one of the best world-renowned economists. Go listen to this book or go read this book. It's called The Perfect Storm, and it's about how the information age that I just spoke of, the age wave, and our markets and what's going on in this country and really even the world with Australia. I know we have Australia on the phone tonight. You guys know you're right behind us in these markets and what's going on. They're second behind the United States and the health crisis that we're having. So here's the age wave. You add the information age into the age wave where we've got, for the first time in history, the baby boomers, Generation X, and Generation Y, all wanting the same thing. Now, talk about the baby boomers alone. Entire industries have risen and fallen over the desires of the baby boomers. Entire industries, not companies, not trends, not fads. Entire industries have risen and fallen based on what that group of people wants. What do they want? They want the same thing Gen X and Gen Y do. They want to look better. They want to feel better. They want to be more healthy. They want more energy. They want to sleep better. They want to lose body fat. 87% of this country is clinically overweight, so they want to lose body fat, but they also want financial freedom. It doesn't matter if you're 65 years old. You would still like a source of income coming in, right? You still got a lot of life to live, especially if you're taking our product B. Okay. Gen X, we got a lot of smart kids coming out of school and there's no jobs for them. But the other thing about Generation X is they're coming out of school and they're saying, I don't want to work for 40 years like my parents did. They worked for 40 years. I want freedom. I want freedom to do what I want, when I want, and I want to make money at it. And I want to have fun doing it. That's what we are doing here. There are many, I can't call them kids. I feel like I should, but I'm dating myself here. There are many college students coming out making 6 figures in Isogenics right now. 20 years old, making 6 figures. Okay, I'm a Gen Xer. That was Gen Y I was talking about. I'm a Gen Xer. I found in the recession my investments, my 401ks lost some money. It scared me. I also found out my husband's job could go away anytime. You know, there's a lot of threat there. And so I'm looking to build some income for this family, which obviously we've created. Let's talk about the markets that we've got. Weight loss. The weight loss industry alone, this is for the United States, those of you calling in internationally, it's $198 million per day spent in the United States on weight loss product or weight loss engagement. $198 million a day. And there's a 98% failure rate if it involves dieting. 98% failing if it's dietary. Anti-aging, $114 billion annual in the U.S. Nutritional fitness, $40 billion annually spent in the U.S. Over $200 billion annually is spent in the U.S. on these 3 categories. I am here to tell you, we have weight loss, we have anti-aging, and we have nutritional fitness. And we have soared to the top of the charts in nutritional fitness. The athletes are coming to us. So much so, we don't even do paid endorsements for our athletes because we don't need to. They want to use our product whether we endorse them or not and pay them money to do it. Okay? We don't do paid endorsements. I love it. So I want to back up and just conclude with you guys. Let me go back to this last slide because there's something I want to mention about the tax advantages. So I conclude these calls to say, this is something, a shot, go for it. And most importantly is the last bullet on this slide. This is a no-fail business. This is no-fail business. No way to fail. It's impossible to fail unless you stop. You can make six figures if you keep plugging because of the way this comp plan works, because of the way the coaching works, because of the way the support system is, because of the training we get, because of the company, because of the product. You can't fail at this. You never know who's going to show up to do this with you. You never know where one of your teams could enroll a Deanna or just somebody, an Adrian or a Renee or Elizabeth, somebody that brings in this massive volume in like a 2, 3, 4 month period. You get paid on all that volume. You never know when somebody like that's going to come in because of the binary comp plan. You can't fail at this. If you stop consuming product and you stop doing this and you stop sharing, you stop talking about it, then you're not going to make millions of dollars. You're not even going to make six figures. You're not even going to make free isogenics. But if you keep doing it, I promise you, we have seen time and time and time and time again, for the people who stay with this and they share it and they love it and they're passionate about it, they don't fail. They start feeling these little victories, these little successes, and it inspires them to keep listening and keep going. And the next thing you know, it's a bigger victory, and it's a bigger victory. And we are celebrating huge, huge victory. So, on one side of the spectrum, there's this huge health reward going on for people. And now on the other side of the spectrum is what I discovered 6 months into this, was that we can also help people financially. This isn't only about helping people from a health perspective. This is also about helping people financially, because here's the truth, guys. Not everyone wants good health. Not everybody cares about their health. But you ask almost anyone if they want to make more money, and they do. And it's amazing to me. It was amazing to me when I started talking about the money instead of just the product all the time. When I started talking about the money, I was amazed at how many people wanted to know about the money. So I challenge you, if you've been in this company for a while, if you're stuck, or if you're just getting started, I encourage you to somehow introduce the monetary aspect of isogenics, because I think this is where some people get stuck. Talk about the product all day, yes, but mention there's a way to get it for free. Tell them there's a business model, and then you can tell them there's people making millions of dollars, so the product must work. And here, I can show you how to make $1 million when you're interested. If it's not today, fine. Then maybe we'll go do it some other time. So here you are. I'm sitting in my office. I'm going to write off certain things about today. The lunch that I had with somebody. The breakfast. I'm going to start writing some things off as a tax advantage in my office. We are not multi-level marketing. I explained we're a binary comp plan. And when you start to see what this is, guys, when you start to experience and feel this comp plan, I'm telling you, you are not going to sleep at night. It is going to the products are going to help you sleep great. And then you're going to figure out the compensation plan, and you're not going to sleep, because it's so exciting and it's so simple. Okay, so I invite you to join us. Your timing is beautiful. Keep this simple. Don't make it harder than it is. And join us now as we enter into this explosive growth period, and start telling some friends and get an experience on the products and feel good about it and feel confident to go share it. And it'll turn into something beautiful for you in a business. We're seeing it happen all the time now with people not with experience, people with experience. It doesn't matter. So I want to thank you for joining us. It's an honor to have you guys tonight. And we are going to do this probably at least once a month going forward, or whenever there's a high demand for it, so you can continue to plug people in. And we will get a recording of this out for you guys so that you can share it with people who weren't able to get on tonight. So thank you so much, and good luck in your business centers. We'll be praying for you and hoping for the best, and we'll hear a lot of good things happening over the next few months. So everybody have a great night. Take care.